Magic Lab on the SOC Radio Network, broadcasting live from our studios in New Zealand, Los Angeles, and New York City. I'm Marie Bargas, also known as the Hollywood Witch, the Pop Psychic, and the Magic Housewife. But tonight, I'm your naughty professor, a magical mad scientist of sorts, and with the help of my trusty lab assistant, pop culture skeptic and guru, Tony Sokol, we're going to be stirring up a nice, hot, boiling cauldron of magic, mystery, and mischief. So, let us show you how to take a whole new look at love, romance, showbiz, fashion, world news, and the secrets of the cosmos through the all-seeing third eye of the future. We're ready to lead you through magical and mystical experiments using ancient knowledge in a modern text. With guest mystics, healers, shamans, and all kinds of fabulous magical people. And you are going to get a chance to get your future read right here. Hello, world, and welcome to Magic Lab Academy. I'm Marie Bargas, the Hollywood Witch, and I will be joined very shortly by my co-host, Tony Sokol from Den of Geek and Entertainment Weekly. This week, in the studio, we have our musical guests, the very exciting and talented new band, Valkyrium. We're going to be talking about music and magic today, and hopefully you will enjoy what we have to offer. Hey, Valkyrium, how are you?
Good, how you doing? Good.
Hey guys, so I am really not the music expert, so I'm going to struggle along here until Tony joins us. Can you tell us how you began as a band?
Well, basically it began when I met Nicole. She had a vision for Valkyrium, and we just started jamming and stuff and writing. Okay.
Nicole is at a dentist appointment this evening, otherwise she'd be with us. We're of course talking about Nikki Kegan. Am I speaking to Justin?
Yes.
Hey. So, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you. Justin and Nikki were married very recently. Congratulations, you two. And I'm so happy to be having you on this week. I know that I wish she was joining us, but we're moving ahead. I'm very excited. You guys have had sort of an interesting start. Tell me, how did you guys come up with the name Valkyrium?
That was the name that Nicole had before we even met.
Okay. And Valkyrie comes from the North or heathen tradition, but I'm told that you are Wiccan? What are you, Justin?
Well, I mean, I follow like reiki. I don't really follow that much of the like Wiccan practices, but I mean, I'm more like spiritual, I guess.
That'll be more so Jenny and Nikki Kegan when it comes to Wicca. As for pagan beliefs, as a band, we celebrate the traditions of paganism as a group, and we get together and combine our minds and meditate to create this music that you are hearing today.
And was I just speaking to William? Was that you?
Yes, William.
Okay, so I'm here with Justin, William, and let's say hello to Jenny. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Hey, good. How about you?
Fantastic. So, Jenny, tell me a little bit about what you do with the band, what music instruments you play.
So I actually play bass guitar, and I do singing as well. So me and Nicole do a lot of harmonizing together in this band. And so we combine our elements of our musical knowledge and incorporate it into producing some really beautiful harmonies, I would say. And that's like one of our main traits that we have to distinct us from other bands.
Now, Nikki told me before that you guys each represent an element. Can you tell me who is air, earth, fire, and water?
So I am water. William is earth, Justin's air, and Nicole is fire.
Oh, she would be fire.
Of course.
Okay. She would be fire.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, let's start with Shadow and Light. Can you tell me a little bit about it before we hear it? And then we'll go into it more?
Yeah, Shadow and Light's more so about achieving your dream and, just, turning the dreams into reality more so as much. And then it's just about how everything in life, some people dream and some people do. And when bringing the shadow into light is what that's about. It's about, just about, making dreams into reality. And there's some shadows also that should be brought into light. That's another aspect of the song. And as I mentioned, I think in an earlier interview about there's a lot of abstract elements within the music.
Okay. All right, Tracy, can you cue that up, please? And we're going to be listening to Shadows and Light by Valkyrium. Oops. Okay, while we're waiting for Tracy, can you tell me a little bit about the other songs? Let's go to Rain Till Runa. What is that song about?
Rain Till Runa is more so about seeking the mysteries. And when I say seek the mysteries, I mean that and within Nicole's lyrics and the band's input on the lyrics, that there's a lot of hidden stuff within history, especially when it comes to paganism. Mm-hmm. And it's for a lot of people, it's an individual quest to seek the mysteries of understanding what some may say is lost and forgotten. And when you seek the mysteries, that's the main chorus in Rain Till Runa. Rain Till Runa itself means seek the mysteries.
So William, I have a question. You claim to be Buddhist. Do you remember any of your past lives, and were you a musician in any of your past lives?
I've had quite a few spiritual encounters, astral, and some of which I'm still trying to understand. Mm-hmm. And when it came to past lives, yes, I've been on, I think, most of the continents on the planet, and possibly outside the planet. So I've had a few readings. And as for being a musician, I'm definitely someone that fought for a message. So that's what a lot of my past lives had to do, as well as being someone to help guide others into either victory or into the right path.
Okay. What about you, Jenny? Do you remember any of your past lives?
I would say that I have like bits and pieces of visions about my past lives. Mm-hmm. So that's usually happened when I'm dreaming. Like I'll have I had this one vision about me having a past life in Europe somewhere, and I think it either had something to do with pirates or possibly with the Romans. So there's always a tie between me and either pirates or Romans for some reason. And I get like a lot of readings about that too. Like I had a past life reading done a few months ago, and the Rome card popped up. So I'm gonna look into that and see if possibly my own soul is connected to that place.
Wow. Okay. So does any of this affect your lyrics? Do you ever write about this? Is there one song that you've done that is like, oh, that's my past life?
Sons of Odin can count for that. That's a song that Justin and I actually sat down and put together at first, and then the band came in and then completed the song. And that song "Sons of Odin" is just about riding together as one. And personally, I felt like in one of my past lives, if not quite a few, I've died in battle. And it's sort of weird to have even dreams sometimes of those reoccurring moments. And just during different times and different ages, it's a real trip, And so writing that song was a good release to
No, that song was
within the band.
That song was about bringing out the warrior spirit, and that one itself is actually about Vikings dying in battle and having the Valkyries take them back up to Valhalla. So me and Justin actually come from a Norse lineage, so
that's where it comes from.
Yeah, we really connected with that song, and I really do feel like when I play that song, I'm connecting with my Viking ancestors.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a few moments here and listen to Shadows and Light. So take it away, Tracy. Marie and Tony will be right back as we take a break for messages from our sponsors.
Advertise with Sock Radio. 10, 15, 20 or 30-second jingles, adverts or promotions. All going out live on Sock Radio. Promote your services, churches, groups or events at the best rates online. Work with us on shows or promotion and you could get your jingles absolutely free. For this and more, contact Julie at sockradioshows@gmail.com.
Okay, hang on. You go back. You can talk for a bit, and I'll sort it out.
All right, so put us back on then.
Yep, go.
Hey, we are back. And just like the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, we're having technical difficulties due to unruly spirits. My name is Marie Bargas, and I'm the Hollywood Witch. You're listening to Magic Lab Academy. We are still waiting for my co-host, Tony Sokol, and I'm here with the rock band Valkyrium. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
So, let's talk about magic. So, there was a rumor in town recently that you guys could have been in a magical war with someone. Can you talk to me about that a little bit? We don't want to mention any names.
Nah, it's just a bunch of hot air. Everything was fine. I mean, everything. It was just a mixture between people wanting things for free and a matter of I guess you could say bartering and business, and sort of just like you want 8 months worth of work, and you want a receipt, but you're not paying for anything.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
I'm
one of those types of things, and then the person who we're not gonna name, their horn all over the internet, and blah blah blah, and just like you said, earlier, is just like you don't say you're gonna do something to someone, especially if it's a hex.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, it was just a bunch of hot air, and we just everything's just been the same, really.
So one of the problems that you guys have that other bands don't have is occasionally you might get sucked into a magical war. Now, I know that you mentioned that Sons of Odin was a war song that you guys relate to because of your Viking heritage. Would you ever do a song specifically to use in a magical war? Have you guys ever thought of that?
No, I don't think we've thought that far ahead about using magical warfare in a song.
Yeah, we're actually more so about like bringing people together.
Yeah.
In a more positive way, and it comes to warfare. That's more so about like fighting on the battlefield.
No,
and
that's
when it comes
actually,
into into Magick.
Actually, the original Psalms of David were written while he was fighting to be king of the Israelites. And a lot of those songs are actually spells that are activated by different names of God, which are considered to be magical words. And the Psalms is actually a spell book of some of David's greatest war hits. Were you guys aware of that?
Oh, but yeah, when it comes to Judaism, I'm quite aware when it does come into that, like there's a lot of things that had to do with, like as you were mentioning. But when it comes to this band, we're more about painting the picture in an atmosphere, and more like trying to give the atmosphere of the music and pushing a message, but calling on or summoning great spirits or entities. That's something that we refrain from doing because we don't want to open up any type of Pandora's box. You know what I mean?
You don't want to open a portal, is that it?
Yeah, we're not in this band. We're not trying to open up gates or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're gonna leave that to Aerosmith then. Okay.
Yes. Or you can leave it to bands like Dark Funeral or Demi Borgir. That's their cup of tea. As for us, we're more about just like bringing back folklore into the death metal and black metal world.
And what types of folklore do you guys focus on most?
I would say that we focus a lot on Norse folklore, and we also incorporate a lot of like mermaid mythology into our music as well.
For this album. Each album's gonna have a different theme, I guess you can say.
Okay. So, where do you guys get the inspiration for the mermaid theme?
I would say that comes from me and Nicole because we both love mermaids and we have a very deep connection to the ocean. And me and her have worked a lot with the ocean. We've gone and done like rituals and camping by the ocean. So I think that's like our biggest inspiration. And on top of that, when me and her do go to play by the ocean, we always get a lot of creative ideas flowing through us. So we use that power to incorporate it into the music.
Wow, that sounds really beautiful. Can I ask you, do you have any French or Burgundian heritage?
Yeah, we all have some French heritage, except for Nicole, I think.
Okay, because Melusine, the freshwater mermaid, is a symbol of the royal houses of France and Burgundy. So, in discussions about how in Magick you're drawn to what's in your genes, I guess this would be a good example of that, huh?
Yeah,
actually, I have a French Basque lineage, distantly within my, I believe, on my mom's side of the family. So it's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, the double-tailed mermaid is Melusine, and she is supposed to be the ancestor of the royal houses of France and Burgundy.
Oh, wow.
And England now. And England now. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're just about ready to. There he is. There's my man. Come on, Tony. I think we're just about ready to get Tony on the air. Could it be? All right. Let's talk a little bit more about what you guys want to do musically. I'd say within the next year. Your new album's out. I love it. We're going to play some tracks from it tonight. What direction musically do you see your band going in this year?
More so progressive, and doing more into just like getting heavier each album and just more technical. Like so I guess you could say one way we're trying to go is more like technical death metal, or we're not trying to be too death metal. So we want to touch bases on a lot of ground, and so if you hear the music, you're gonna hear like tons and tons of different types of influences and chemistry.
Yeah, I think the main element is balance and diversity, because we still want to keep like the clean vocals, the harmonies, but still also have like a heavier element as well.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Magick as we wait for everybody to come back. We've talked a little bit about hexing. We've talked a little bit about the magic in the Bible used by David. I know that we talked briefly about the Davidic cipher, and that is the cipher that translates music to numbers, to letters. Do you ever find yourself listening to something and realizing that there's a hidden message in it that you have not recognized before? Are there any songs in your new album like that?
Yeah, there's actually almost every one has a hidden message as you're speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's see. Well, Reign till Runa was, seek the mysteries. That's what actually Reign till Runa means in translation. And for Valkyrium, the hidden message is more so about understanding like the origins of what we call Valkyrium and the tree, and just bringing everything. What was that? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, there's some weird noise. Yeah, just about working, together and combining each other's polytheistic views. Mm-hmm. It's a tree, everything stems from the same roots. So this is more so of like a concept that we're building album by album. And so with this first one is more so an introduction.
Hi, can people hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey. Okay, I'm on my daughter's tiny little machine, and which means I can walk around while I do this.
Oh my goodness! So I was just telling them that I am a pale shadow in the music world compared to your expertise. So I'd asked them some very general questions, but I've been dying for you to come on.
Okay, I'm adjusting my volumes and things like that here as a musician. I am, because is that louder?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And where's the microphone?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I just have to get used to the new equipment. I'm sure that the other musicians understand that completely. Mm-hmm. I have no idea where the microphone is on this, and she had to show me how to turn on the volume. So, where are we? And the last thing I heard was you were doing prog.
Yeah.
So I would love to talk prog.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we love prog.
Yeah, it's built. It's sort of naturally built within the band. Justin has a huge progressive metal and progressive rock background.
Now, who is the drummer?
Justin.
Yeah, it's me, Justin.
All right, cool. So there are a lot of massive time signature changes. Do you have that's going on in this? And how do you count? Do you count as a feel, or do you count because you know what the changes are? Because for example, Ringo, the Beatles had amazing time signatures. Nobody realized it because Ringo didn't read music and just did it very naturally. So do you emphasize the beats, or are you just grooving?
Yeah, I would say it's mainly feel based. Yeah. I mean, on this album there wasn't too many like crazy time signatures, but I mean, I definitely see us exploring some different, various time signatures in the future.
Yeah, it was like about just when it came to being progressive, it started off by us adding a part and then another member adding a different part, and everything sort of just built upon each other and then led its own direction. When we would write this, and then towards the end of the album writing process in the studio is when we started to see the band shifting towards. It wasn't anything that like we we're aiming for. It's something that started naturally to happen with the band chemistry, and we're pretty blown away when we're hearing like the final goods of the album, and then hearing this new path that none of us really foresaw.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm sure that Marie took over a lot of about the magical musical questions, but there are tonal qualities that bring in magic. There's the and there's the harmonics of spirituality. Do you tap into that?
I'd say we definitely do tap into the spiritual aspect of music. We like to focus on a lot of sacred geometry in this band, so we all know that sound is very healing, and the different frequencies that are correlated to sound are actually connected to different chakras. So, exercise things we do offer a lot of. That's how we like to.
Okay. I'm not hearing a lot. Marie, are they fading out on you, or is it just me?
No, it's me too.
Oh,
okay.
Now that sounds very clear, though.
Okay. Well, they're just playing the rests.
Oh, is the music blank?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We've been trying to get a song on for the past half hour now since the beginning of the show, and I can't help but think, could it be that the spirits are envious?
Yeah. Maybe the spirits
I want to hear some music.
Okay, let's talk.
If anyone's interested, you can go to www.valkyrium.com. Anytime we have it on Apple, you can have it physical copies delivered as well, digital, whatever is of your fancy. www.valkyrium.com. And all the info is there too about the band's latest shows and merchandise. And hopefully, the music goes on.
Okay. All right, so
I wanted to ask about the rhythm section. I'm going to stay with the rhythm section for just a little bit, because this is spiritual to me. I play bass, and the moment that the bass and the bass drum meet that click, and you know exactly where it's going to be, just tell me what that feels like for you.
Well, being that me and my brother are very close, we have that sibling connection, we've naturally always been very tight as a rhythm section.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
Even before we formed Valkyrium, we had our own bands in the past. So we've had a lot of experience locking on the beat with each other. And when we do get that feeling that the bass and the very empowering.
Yeah.
So do you play a lot of bass and drum when you're home alone?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes we like to practice on our own times, and then sometimes we come up with ideas separately, and then we like to arrange a day where we like to jam out and show everyone our new ideas.
Yeah.
Cool. Then who jumps in first, the guitarist or the vocalist on that point?
It really depends. Sometimes we write a song based off of a vocal melody, and sometimes we like to write a song around the lyrics only, but other times we'll come up with a really solid guitar riff first, and then we'll build upon that before we write the vocals.
Cool. But when you're coming up with it as a rhythm section, when you're coming up with full pieces just on bass and drum and presenting them to the band?
Well, sometimes me and Justin like to come up with our own ideas together as a rhythm section, but sometimes I'll come up with my own riff ideas and show them to Justin, and then he'll write according to what I presented to him.
Yeah, bass playing composers are sick. It's a lot of fun.
I think, I don't know if you guys can hear this well, but let me see if I can play you guys a sample.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
In the meantime, the guitarist can get out an acoustic and get ready. I'm sorry, I don't have any names or any notes in front of me for this. I'm on a tiny little machine.
We're here with Justin, William, and Jenny.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me know how this sounds so far. It's loading right now.
Okay.
Well, the loading sounds really good.
Oh my gosh!
I can listen to that.
Retrograde, but there's so many planets in retrograde. I can't believe that we're actually on.
Can you hear that?
No,
No, it still sounds like it's loading.
I can't hear a single thing.
Oh no. Yeah.
Silent movies only work in movies.
All right, so while we're waiting for something to happen, Tony, could you please do your imitation of Mr. Burns, please?
All the tinctures and all the toys and all the world, and all I knew was you needed was the blood of a young boy. Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh. Now's the time for the funny voices. Bring them all in.
Who does harmonies in the band?
The internet cutting.
I'm sorry?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Are we cutting out or no?
No.
Yeah, you are actually. So just who does harmonies in the band?
Yeah. There's some sort of like lag in the when any like it's cutting out when we're talking basically.
Oh dear.
Hello?
Yeah. We heard that all perfectly though.
Yeah, it's like glitching out.
Okay. Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. This entire talking about the problem has been no problem. So who
Do you see
does
when you click the top of the show? Here we are.
Yeah, it's glitching. Let me type
Okay.
it in.
Well, while we still have you, while we can still hear you, who does harmonies in the band? And I wanted to talk about some of the harmonies.
Yeah, look how slow it is.
Or we can focus on the problems.
Should I reset the internet? You want to bring it closer? Hello, can you hear us now?
Hey,
or no?
yes, we can hear you. Are you all in the same
we're
room?
gonna have to move this closer. I don't know if the internet's messing up.
I don't know. It could be solar flares. I know nothing about them. I just throw them out there every now and then.
Oh my god, wait, no.
So I'm gonna reset the internet.
If you reset the internet, will we lose you? Okay. So, Marie, what have you been listening to lately?
What have I not been listening to?
Okay, what have you not been listening? What have you been avoiding musically? I'm sure you haven't been Rick rolled in a long time.
Oh, no, not in quite some time.
Hello, you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. And we heard
Hello?
The Exorcist in the background.
Hello? I think we may have lost them. Wait,
Well, we're still yeah, can you hear me now?
yeah, we can hear
we're hearing you fine.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was glitching for a while, so, yeah, we're back on.
Okay, cool. So let's just jump right back into it. I wanted to talk about the harmonies, and so first of all, who does the harmonies? The vocal harmonies.
So that would be me and Nicole. We do most of the harmonies together.
Okay. Now, first of all, take away the lead vocals and the harmonies. Do they stand on their own?
So take away the harmonies and see if the lead.
No. If you take away the lead, the harmonies, they're very melodic. And I was going to say that I kind of guessed you're the bass player because you'd come up with a more melodic harmony line. So, because there's something about bass playing composers where they think melodically because they don't get the chance to on the bass.
Oh, definitely.
So so I noticed that in the harmonies when you're creating them, if you take away the lead vocals, the harmonies are very melodic.
Yes, definitely. They are.
And I rather enjoyed that.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah.
So tell me about how when you're coming up with harmonies, are you reacting against the melody, or are you creating the harmony knowing that it will go great with the melody?
So usually a lot of our harmonies consist of following the melodies in all of our songs. Because me and Nicole play an instrument at the same time as we sing, we have to keep the vocal melody a little simple, so we pretty much write our vocal melodies around the guitar riffs.
Ah, that's the trick.
And so usually when me and Nicole are figuring out where we want to put our harmonies, she usually goes at the bottom and I sing more of the higher harmonies.
That sounds like how Pete Townsend wanted to sound like a horn section.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything's broken down into like it's I guess you could say it's level. When there's a lot of high instruments, they have to be backed up with twice as much low instruments. So we use the vocals to balance a lot of that out. Like say if there's too much low and too much heavy, then that means there needs to be more high-pitched vocals up into and making sure the ranges are all filled in like a big wall.
Yeah.
So most people are familiar with like the wall sound with the layering and everything, and layering is very important within the studio process. And there was I had to do 2 different guitar parts, and because there was leads and then there was also rhythms, but there was actually 2 organic takes for each of them, and so it's very much like an orchestra of guitars.
Very cool. When you're reproducing it live, which is the more fun time to do it. How much of the rhythm guitar do you drop and just groove on the lead?
It's still all there. It just gets into tube time. It's getting the stacks with the tubes and letting the tubes do all the singing on guitars. You know what I mean? For the depth. And so it'll drop to 2 guitars because that's all there is. And like different rhythms. Like we're hardly the guitars and bass are hardly ever playing on the same part of the fretboard of the neck. Like everyone's doing something different, and that's what we believe is the way it should be.
That's sacred geometry.
Yeah.
The fingerings are sacred. So all right, so let's get back into some of the magical. Do you actually listen to any traditional magical music, pagan music?
Yeah, we do. A lot of us do listen to a lot of traditional pagan music.
Omnia.
We listen to bands like Omnia, S.J. Tucker.
Olivia.
They're more heavy.
Yeah, more heavier. And this Omnia is a really good example.
What about Eastern? They haven't. I know because I almost bought one. I know they have an electric sitar. Have you checked out any Eastern mystical metal?
Like on that side of the hemisphere, we really like to look into things like the Tibetan bowls.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And just a sneak peek for the next album, that we're going to be using a lot of those different types of instruments from around the world. And all different types of sound healing devices. So it's really, this album's really given us a lot of ideas on what to do next. And we're not going to say too much about it, but yeah, we're definitely heading towards that.
Oh no, I'd love to hear about the instruments though. All right, so let's talk about what.
In this album, a lot of the production was in the studio. There were a couple of you did the drums, right? Mm-hmm. What drum was it? Djembe. Yeah, we incorporated the djembe. There was chimes. There was a lot of the keyboard parts were a lot of synths and different types of effects and MIDI effects, but we're gonna be adding a lot more organic percussion instruments, and it's all in the works right now for the second album. But this one that we're talking about now. Okay. What?
Okay. Actually, you know what? We're about to take our break, so tell everybody where you can be found.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can find us at www.valkyrium.com, or you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Valkyrium4, and you can find us on anchor.com/Valkyrium4.
Okay. And Marie, I seem to have taken up all the time. Where can you be found?
Hello?
Even now, Marie, where can you be found?
Oh.
Okay, well, it looks like she's in the netherworld. Oh, okay. So where can you be found?
www.mariebargas, that's BARGAS.com, or Marie Bargas under Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.
And I can be found writing for Den of Geek and Entertainment Voice and Entertainment Tomorrow, Live and Undead, and Tony Sokol Ota. This has been Magic Lab Academy, and we're going to take a little break. Thank you for listening thus far and putting up with our glitches. And you can take us out.
Marie and Tony will be right back as we take a break for messages from our sponsors.
spiritualistsonline.com. Online since 2002, teaching all aspects of personal and spiritual development. Free to all with audio-video chat rooms, members forums, and SOC radio live shows on site. The Spiritualists Online Network and Lyceum, a global oasis for spiritual awareness, development, attainment, imparting knowledge, thoughts, ideas to inspire. One site, linking a whole network of spiritually informative, educational and interactive services, encompassing every faith, path, walk, religion as one. The Circle of Mediums radio show. 6 mediums, healers, psychics, tarot, astrologers, spiritual workers every week, sharing spirit messages, development techniques, guidance and much more. Live in the SOC radio chat room on spiritualistsonline.com or simply listen in at tunein.com. Search SOC Radio. Would you like to contribute readings, thoughts, teachings and time to this 2-hour show? Get in touch at socradioshows@gmail.com. Membership on spiritualistsonline.com. Join our teaching lyceum, classes and courses to certificate and diploma levels. It's an option, not an obligation. Still only £30 per year for unlimited seminars, guest sessions, members' moments, voice members included on radio chats and TV shows, full certificate courses and qualifications, members' promotions of sites, books and services, discounts on SOC services, one-on-one teaching, private classes, members-only Facebook. Upgrade your membership today. Joint family group options. See spiritualistsonline.com. Spiritualistsonline.com. Online since 2002, teaching all aspects of personal and spiritual development. Free to all with audio-video chat rooms, members forums, and SOC radio live shows on site. The Spiritualists Online Network and Lyceum, a global oasis for spiritual awareness, development, attainment, imparting knowledge, thoughts, ideas to inspire. One site, linking a whole network of spiritually informative, educational and interactive services, encompassing every faith, path, walk, religion as one.
Welcome back to the lab as Marie and Tony teach you all about magic.
Go.
And you were listening to, what was the name of that song? Shadow and
Light.
Shadow and Light by Valkyrium. That's what they was playing. And you were back at Magic Lab Academy, where we make all things magic, more magic. I'm here with Marie Bargas, the Hollywood Witch.
Hello.
And we are talking to Valkyrium, the band that produced the music that you just heard. And their next album, on this album, they'll be playing with a lot of healing instruments from around the world. And I'd like to ask you about some of these instruments and what their actual properties are when it comes to healing, when it comes to what they do to the body, aside from make it dance.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Well, basically, like, it's kind of like the whole like chakra theory, where like there's certain frequencies that vibrate with certain parts of the body. So like the singing bowl, it kind of has like a lower frequency, so that would like resonate with the lower chakras.
And we also have an instrument called the ocean drum, and that one is very interesting because the way you can play the ocean drum is that there's marbles, like there's little marbles inside the drum, and when you tilt it back and forth, it makes like a wave sound, something you would hear at the ocean.
We create a lot of different instruments that tie in sounds of nature, and we're looking forward to getting one that has like the waterfall effect sound. And there's just like a vast assortment of abstract instruments that we're looking into for the next album. But as for this current one, we used a lot. We started off more so with the guitars and then the bass and drums, and focusing on the band sound along encompassing the vocals and switching back and forth from it being focused on to the vocals and then switching being focused on the other instruments that's in the band. And this album, it was more so about like the chimes we used in the djembe. And what else?
Yeah, what were some of the other instruments? And when have you ever used them outside of the studio? Have you ever used them for healing?
We have actually. We've gone to many healing circles, Reiki circles, and we brought our own sound healing instruments to help assist with healing.
Yeah, there's been times when, as a band, we'll get together and do a sound healing session, and along with Reiki, and we feel that that's very, very important for the band to take care of ourselves spiritually in that way, in order for us to create the right type of music we're aiming to make.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
And we feel that as a group, we have more strength as if we were to be individual.
Okay. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry. This is where Marie has to take over because I'm actually doing something on my other thing. So, Marie, talk to them. Ask them about some of these instruments. Okay. Well, what healing properties have you like? Have you ever seen? What have you experienced from doing this? Has anyone ever come up to you and said, you know, my leg, it looks so much better now that I've listened to this song?
There's a lot of the band originally started off focusing on different types of crystals and crystal healing. And Nikki Kegan, was actually shined a lot of light to us and a lot of knowledge towards stones and gems. Different types of crystals. And so we'll use that as a group before and after writing music.
Oh, how does it feel?
Every different stone has its own healing property, and combined in different ways, it has different effects. So we like to do a lot of research on what stones would be required for what. And
cool.
Each individual purpose that we're looking to heal, and sometimes it could be the healing of a long lost family member, which is actually one of the songs in the album.
Which one?
That would be Meet Me in the Maze. So Nicole actually wrote the song with her brother. She was trying to find her brother, and in order to help her release that pain, she wrote the song Meet Me in the Maze, which is about finding the ones you love in a maze practice, because there's so many people in the world. It's basically like you're a maze.
Can you guys speak up a little bit because you're fading in and out?
Yeah, because as a result of writing that song, she actually did find her brother, which is the most interesting fact of the whole entire. I guess you could say out of writing all the songs, I think there's a lot of things that were achieved.
Right.
So it's sort of like an invocation.
Just like the intention behind the song, like they Meet Me in the Maze, the intentions was for her to one day find her brother, be in contact for years and years on end. And I'm not sure the exact time frame. It could have been a couple of months. It could have been almost a half a year to a year. No, but after the song was written.
Yeah.
About 6 months to a year. She actually found her brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was almost like if all the intentions that were set came true.
Cool. They don't teach that in music and theory class.
No, and that's
they don't.
and that's a lot of interesting to cover when entering the world of magic and within music, because music itself is magic, and when you add intentions and other types of approaches towards magic within the music, it actually
Very powerful.
it's more of an effect than what we anticipated.
Cool. And I mean that profoundly, actually.
Profoundly, yeah. It's this like,
that's a profound cool.
like when we found out that within the first 10 days of the album's release that it was already in Russia, it was already in the UK, it was in third world countries. There's a lot of people that bought the music, and I know that we did our part in promoting, but the thing is that you can promote something and it doesn't mean it's going to stick, but this actually had a really good effect. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of dedicated hardcore fans that do practice magic all over the world. Different people from third world, second world, first world. They're all connecting together and realizing that there are other people like themselves outside of their area that they either believe in the same or know that there's a magic and a higher power or powers, depending which way you want to look at it.
So instead of groupies, do you get sorcerer's apprentices?
As apprentices, actually at shows, we do have people come up and they ask if there's any way they can help the band, and there's a lot of things that they want to learn. And most of the time, we let Nikki Kegan handle all that, because she actually does offer a reiki service, and she's healed a lot of people, and she's taught the band a lot about all different types of healing and forms of magic. And of course, as individuals, we know a lot of magic ourselves, either of something that we did in the past that's been given birth, or it's just that she's helped us like rekindle that part, that piece of our life.
Okay. Well, Nikki's not here, so let's talk about her. Have you seen a Reiki effect from her on the audience? Have you seen that energy go out, and what does it look like to the eyes of the people that are watching?
I definitely feel like after every show we play, we look out into the audience and notice how spellbound people are, because when people listen to our music, it's like a breath of fresh air, and it's something they haven't really heard before. It's a very unique taste on our genre of music, because usually with metal it's very extreme and heavy and sometimes pretty gruesome. So the fact that we're a magical family trying to promote healing and wellness and enlightenment towards others, it makes people feel really good. And a lot of people come up to us after the shows telling us how different we are and how much our music has impacted their lives.
Also that
so you're saying, yeah.
Sorry. That the band has a lot of positive energy, in the sense that we're two couples, one band, and the most powerful element of all is always going to be love. And since our music comes from a place of love, with it being two couples, and now one family, that I think that it's definitely made its imprint on the music, and that's what people are listening to. And everything started off on the right foot, all the way to from it got pressed to the CD, all the way to their ear. So we know that we gave it like our 200% each to get this done, and it was definitely out of the love of music and magic.
Cool. I want to ask a weird question of each of you. If you were to score any movie and have Valkyrium do the music for it, what movie would you think would benefit most from Valkyrium soundtrack?
Definitely had to be something in the realms of
maybe like Lord of the Rings or something.
Like a Lord of the Rings type of movie. definitely stuff with like witches and trolls. Yeah, definitely.
Or even a Viking movie too, because we do incorporate a lot of Viking mythology within our lyrics and songs.
Or it could be just something with just the warrior spirit itself.
Yeah.
Maybe a movie that focuses on Wicca or paganism, like say about the Visigoths, things like that. Different types of parts in history about the hard times that pagans had to go through for believing what they sincerely believe, and the punishments.
Definitely.
And we know that there's a lot of other people in this world that have gone through the same. And it's, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's
is definitely yeah.
Yeah, I root for the Dementors, though. The Dementors are my favorites, so I don't know if I'd be as happy with a romantic band.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, that's why we offer different. There's the many sounds of Valkyrium, and that's what we like to push out there. Is that we have a lot of darker music too for those that have a darker taste. But I like to say dark because
it's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavier. And it's just more intense, and it's just like I like to compare it to alcohol. Some people like Bud Light, and some people like whiskey.
I like Manhattan, so let's talk about the Dementor music. So Dementor music does not have to be faster. It can be slow as anything. It could be a dirge. And so tell me, when you're going into that place, it's more than just minor chords. Tell me about the dissonance and the what's going on there.
The dissonance is when we come across those types of chords, usually those the result of experimenting as a band, just trying it, and then sometimes we come across things by mistake, and we're like, hey, like during the recording process, that sounded pretty good. And so then we'll go in and we'll actually rewrite the music to incorporate the mistake in that actually sounded better than what we wrote. And we also do have incorporate tons of theory into our music, but sometimes you have to break the rules a little bit to make something new.
Okay. So what are the most fun rules to break? What chords do you love throwing together that don't mech?
Most sometimes like to throw in a lot of dissonance chords.
Okay.
I feel like that gives us a heavier sound, and this always like or the yanks. The song.
Talk into the mics, please.
Oh, can you hear us?
Yeah, then now we can.
Okay. So, we like to write a lot of dissonance chords as well, like chords that don't usually get, but sound really cool, and I think that gives us our darker edge, because that's what the metal is all about too. Is playing a lot of dissonant chords and being heavy, and also we like to have our other softer side, which kind of balances our sound out. And like our softer side would be like the clean harmonies and the more of the acoustic songs that really balances out the dissonant chords, which is probably our darker side.
Yes or Jethro Tull?
Yeah, Jethro Tull.
Okay.
That's, it's funny you say that, because I actually believe in his writing process of music first and lyrics. But, sorry, there's a dog. But yeah, anyways, I've always believed in the writing process of Jethro Tull. He's showing up. And then, but with Nikki and Jenny, when they write the vocals first, that's like the antithesis of Jethro Tull's writing style. So, but you have to do all the above, you know what I mean? You can't just do one thing all the time, or otherwise it's going to go stale.
Well, I'm sure even he's had some words in his head before they came out as melodies.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then, you know, with the flute and whatnot, that's just as another, like, teaser for the new material that we're working on. There's definitely going to be a lot of flute.
Cool. So you're keeping a witch's promise.
Yeah. A lot of wooden instruments is we're trying to keep it authentic as possible.
Oh. So what other wooden instruments? What other instruments are you using that go into that?
So currently, right now, Nicole bought. I mentioned the ocean drum, and we also have a pan drum as well. I don't know if you know what that is.
Well, the wood for wooden instruments.
Oh, for wood.
Right now, we're working with different types of wood blocks.
Yeah.
And different types of drums for like they're wood based, and then
The djembe too.
yeah, and then the djembe, and then for the flutes, So you get the dog out of here. Sorry about that. We got the dog in here. So come on, put him in the studio. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we have this dog. He just keeps coughing.
Black
the
Sabbath.
coughing dog that we have, but yeah, we put him away. But anyways, yeah, like
Coughing
for the
dog.
yeah,
We should write it.
It's a coughing dog. But anyways, going back to the wooden instruments, we have some different flutes we picked up, and what we really want to do is go out to the reservations and actually get the permission to use some of the traditional music and tie it into ours. And it's just a matter of finding the right people to do it.
Cool. And when are you guys going to play?
Oh yeah, well that's the Native American theme behind the music is something that we've talked about for a while, and we're gonna do our best to incorporate it into the next album. And even though this current album that we have now, there is a lot of Native American spirituality within the lyrics, and within some of the guitar solos and guitar parts that I did my best to add in.
Ooh, are you doing a ghost dance?
That's actually, it's been talked about, but
God. Please send that to me when you do.
I can't really progress on it as much until it's...
No, when you do, I want to hear that. That sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we've talked about.
Cool. So, speaking of ghost dances, in the audience, have you ever seen anything that that might not have been there as a paying guest? You ever conjure any spirits with your music?
You know, it's I've actually had one throughout my whole life in my career. Before this band, in my death metal band, and then when it carried into this band, and it's always been like a dark orb, and it seems to make its appearance at the Viper Room. And no, that's for me, not for you guys. And so when I started playing with this band, I noticed that it also traveled, and I just, the ghost stuff, it's just the only thing I can really connect it to is the spirit of the old owner of the guitar that I was playing.
Oh, cool.
And I felt like that once I bought the guitar, I actually bought it from his brother, and his brother told me that they had to let go of the guitar, and it was a 1992 NJ Beast with the speed loader Floyd Rose, and yeah, and so when I found out about that, I didn't think much of it, but it just seemed like it's just what I was doing was something that he wanted to do with it. It's sort of like a unfinished business.
You think your fingers ever go to places where his fingers would have gone?
Well, I just feel like that once I stopped playing that guitar, it disappeared. It doesn't show up in the pictures no more. So yeah, I mean, I still have the guitar, and I gave it its rack and put it aside. I play in a different guitar now, a Jackson Soloist. But yeah, that's probably one of the stranger occurrences I've had with photography of it coming up, and I actually can probably send you guys an email of one of the pictures later on.
Oh, please. Please.
It's always at the Vibe Room. Always at the Vibe Room. It's just every time.
Cool. So which clubs are haunted?
Oh, which ones are haunted that we've experienced? Definitely the Airliner. That's one.
Yeah, we played at a venue called the Airliner, and that one's pretty haunted, I would say. There's a lot of weird activity going on there, and also the Viper Room too. There's so many spirits there, especially because like what we've noticed is that when we played the Viper Room, there's like a lot of satanic imagery in there now. So I think that's kind of conjuring the spirits in there.
One venue that had the heaviest energy of all that would almost make you want to throw up was when we were on tour, and we played at the dive. It's called the Dive Bar in Las Vegas, and
Okay.
yeah, the dive bar was by far like that. Right when you walk in, you feel like there was extra gravity thrown on you.
That sounds like Siberia in New York.
And then the bartender herself was burning a black candle, which sort of was a weird welcoming. You know what I mean?
Yes. Cool for him, though.
Yeah.
to keep it up. So how does it affect when you play? Do you groove in? Do you slide into that? Do you
We actually
when there's
a shield like that we feel like that we emit when we play.
Oh, so you're too good for that, huh?
Well, with a lot of the Buddhism that I've studied, I'm almost done reading the whole entire Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I've written a lot of other books regarding to Tibetan Buddhism, and I like to keep my mind protected from anything. It's sort of like a firewall if you want to get into computers, but for the mind. And and as for the other members, they also have their protection of different type of negative magic to deflect it.
Yeah, well, usually we like to wear a lot of crystals to protect us on stage. Sometimes we do blessings before we go on and play at a venue. So we're constantly protected as a family because our bond is so strong, and the love is what keeps us going, and I think that's our biggest shield right there.
There's in some instances, some of the crystals cracked.
Yeah.
Like the one for the dive bar in Vegas. It was pretty intense.
Wow.
We didn't know how to explain that because it takes a lot of pressure to crack a crystal.
Yeah.
So, can you break glass with your guitar?
If I turn my full stack all the way up and hit the highest note, yeah, just put it right next to the amp.
Good. Marie, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm sitting here listening for a change.
Yeah. So we brought up the ghosts that they saw and you've been in some of the same clubs. So what have you seen, Marie, in the Viper Room?
Oh, God. I really don't like to go to the Viper Room because it's really haunted. Yeah. Everybody knows I'm a big chicken. However, the one spirit that I do see regularly is probably the Black Dahlia, who likes to hang out at the Biltmore. Elizabeth Short. She appears, and you think she's the goth girl, and her name is Elizabeth. And she smokes cigarettes and has frayed gloves, and she's dead. Yeah, Elizabeth Short, Black Dahlia.
And yet she still has to get stamped to get a drink. It's sad.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all.
Have you been into the VIP room at the mirror room?
No. Nope.
Yeah, that's actually if I were to say from my experience, that's probably where River Phoenix was. His presence is the heaviest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in that room, and I've sat in there by myself a few times, and then sat in there with the band, different shows. either for Valkyrium or my other band. And yeah, that's where you start to like things start to move.
Yeah.
You start to feel like I don't know how to explain it really. You know, it's you just know something's there.
Well, I get dizzy when.
Yeah, that feeling like someone's sitting right next to you, but you look and no one's there. Mm-hmm. That type of. Hard to explain.
Cool. Huh. Hey, how far east have you guys gotten? Have you played in New York?
We've talked about it, and as for touring, and we just felt like that we wanted to release and promote the album before we actually touched that side of the coast. And but we do have a lot of offers, and we just want to make sure that we do everything in one tour and do it right.
The farthest we've gone so far is Las Vegas, and we're still planning for a future tour out of state.
We played all over California so far, and we've had plenty of offers to go further, but the way that it works is that even though we get these offers, we need at least 8 shows to make it financially worth doing. Otherwise, we'd be going in the hole. And we're looking to team up with the right sponsors and the right labels to get it done.
Okay, cool. So do you do magic to make that happen? To get the right people together?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, from time to time.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about selling your soul on the crossroads to become rock stars.
Oh, no.
Good one.
No.
No, we didn't have to do anything like that. No.
There's no Robert Johnson in the band?
No chickens were harmed. No.
Hey.
So yeah, we like to keep it safe.
Yeah.
My 3220 wasn't that a Robert Johnson?
Oh,
yeah.
What's the Robert Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh
There's,
yeah.
Hellhounds on my trail selling the soul of the crossroads.
That was
the original
Justin's.
blues
That was the name of 3220. Was the name of Justin's previous band.
Oh, and he got it from. Oh, cool. So this is my psychic ability. I can tap into your musical influences.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's come from I guess you could say a different background in music. Yeah. But in the end, we all agree that we do like metal and we do like heavy rock.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are your guilty pleasures? What do you listen to that you don't tell anybody? Because now you're going to tell everybody.
and
Come on, you all listen to the Archies. Come on.
I listen a lot of music that I listen to. The music I listen to that people don't know that I listen to. It would have to be industrial, goth, electronic.
That's not embarrassing.
No, of course it's not. But most people didn't really think that I was into electronic music. If playing metal for so many years. But Justin was 80s. 80s pop hits.
Yeah, I want to know when you're alone and you're listening to Stacey Q and Ariana Grande.
For
That's
me,
what I want to hear.
I actually enjoy listening to disco as one of my guilty pleasures. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so much fun to dance.
Classical music, the USC classical channel on the radio.
Yeah.
That's
and I'm from Brooklyn, so disco is not actually as embarrassing to me.
Oh.
Although I played
reggae, like Peter Tosh.
Or Bob Marley.
Yeah.
For those times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, those times are the right times.
Yeah.
But sadly, we are almost out of time ourselves. So once again, tell everybody where they can hear you when you're not here with us.
You can hear the music at our website, www.valkyrium.com. So it's just a band name and then .com. Yeah, we're also on Apple Music. You can look us up there. CD Baby, we're on that. Amazon Music. we're on a lot. You just gotta just go on Google and type in Valkyrium, and you're gonna see all the different music outlets that we go through. And but if you want to cut to the chase, just go to the band's website, and then you're gonna see all the artwork and the next show, everything all in one.
Great, thank you very much, Marie. Where can we find you? I've been looking. You've been around.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn under Marie Bargas. That's B as in bank, ARGAS, or at www.mariebargas.com.
And I can tell you, thank you for being on. I can tell you where you can find me, but just Google Tony Sokol for yourself. You'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised.
We're gonna definitely do that.
And I want to thank SOC Radio for indulging us in our musical love of Magick. Or is it a magical love of music? Either way, we're going out. Thank you, SOC. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us at Magic Lab. See you next time for more conjurings.
Spiritualistsonline.com. Online since 2002. Teaching all aspects of personal and spiritual development. Free to all with audio video chat rooms, members forums, and SOC Radio live shows on site. The Spiritualists Online Network and Lyceum, a global oasis for spiritual awareness, development, attainment, imparting knowledge, thoughts, ideas to inspire. One site, linking a whole network of spiritually informative, educational and interactive services, encompassing every faith, path, walk, religion as one.